Good afternoon. Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is 6 minutes after 12 on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. How's your day going? Thank God it's Friday. Well, it's been the season of holidays, so we're all enjoying the holidays. Well, if you had to go back to work today, sorry, we are all together. We're in the same boat. But hey, it's all good. All right, you're welcome to the program, The Big Question. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaisar. The Big Question is a program where we discuss and provide solutions to issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens. The Big Question comes to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:05 p.m. So you can do well to join the conversation by reacting to today's topic by calling us on 07000 917 917. You can send us a WhatsApp message to 070 317 56537. You can also dial 09155 917 917. All right, so you can also follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, and of course YouTube at WFM917, or log on to our website, www.wfm917.com. So today on The Big Question, we will be discussing the report titled Lagos Food Bank Initiative, Tackling Malnutrition Among Pregnant Women and Children through a NUMEPLAN. All right, and this report was done by Blessing Agbeetan. All right, so we'll be bringing her shortly. But first of all, let's even understand what this, the whole report is about. Now, malnutrition remains a significant challenge in Lagos, compounded by economic hardships and limited access to nutritious food. Now, when you think Lagos, you might sound a bit off for you to even think malnutrition because, it's Lagos you're talking about. But hey, we still have cases of malnutrition in Lagos. Now, vulnerable groups, especially pregnant women and children under 5, bear the brunt of this crisis, facing stunted growth, developmental delays, and even life-threatening conditions. Yet, amidst this challenge, the Lagos Food Bank Initiative stands as a beacon of hope. Now, through its nutritious meal plan intervention for vulnerable mothers and children, NUMEPLAN, the organization provides essential nutrition, education, and support to families in need. Now, in this report, we are going to hear Mary Dosa's journey of saving her malnourished baby to hearing the recovery of little Jimo too. Now, this report, like I said earlier, was done by Blessing Agbeetan, and she sheds light on the transformative impact of NUMEPLAN and the urgent need for collaborative efforts to combat malnutrition. Now, this solution journalism report was produced by Women Radio 91.7 in partnership with Nigeria's Health Watch through the Solutions Journalism Network. All right, so we'll just go ahead and hear this report, and when we come back, we will be talking to Blessing, who went through with this report, and I tell you, it's definitely one to put your ears down for.
The fear of losing a child is one of the greatest heartaches of motherhood. For Mary Dosa, a 32-year-old fashion designer and mother of 2, this fear almost became a reality when her 6-month-old baby, Dominion, began showing signs of malnutrition. After childbirth, Dosa suffered from a significant blood loss and was unable to breastfeed. With no other options, she fed her baby a mixture of pap and milk, unaware that this lacked the essential nutrients her baby needed to grow. As a result, her baby's hands and lips shrank and his spine became alarmingly visible. Dosa recounted.
When I gave birth to him, he was 3.5. From the 8th day that I went to go and give him BGC at Health Center till after 4 months, my baby was still 3.6. There is no improvement. The condition was critical. People were saying a lot of things.
Dosa's fortune changed when a family friend who had benefited from the nutritious meal plan intervention for vulnerable mothers and children NUMEPLAN program recommended that she take her baby to the Lagos Food Bank Initiative for assistance. She stated with gratitude.
I came here on 29th of April, a baby of 6 months. He was looking like he was 2 months. I was so shameful to come out. I did not come out like after 6 to 7 months. So it was when I came to this place with the teaching and the things that they was giving me then, that is how he picked up. Under 2 weeks, he picked up immediately. It was a testimony. So after that 2 weeks, he picked up to 3.8. After 2 weeks again, he picked up like 4.6. To God be the glory. Now he's up to 6 points now. Indeed, coming here is a blessing to me, it's a blessing to my family, it's a blessing to my child.
Malnutrition is a persistent challenge in Nigeria, with Lagos being no exception. The economic downturns and inflation currently experienced in the country have worsened the situation, driving up the cost of nutritious food and forcing many families to survive on whatever is available, regardless of its nutritional value. Unfortunately, pregnant women and children under 5 are particularly vulnerable as they often face nutrient deficiencies that can lead to long-term health problems. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), malnutrition contributes to approximately 45% of deaths among children under 5 in Nigeria. Providing insights on malnutrition, Dr. Olufunmilola Akinola, a consultant pediatrician at St. Ives Family Hospital, disclosed that it is an imbalance between the nutrients the body requires to function and the nutrients it receives. According to her,
malnutrition generally is most commonly caused by not eating enough of the right food to give the body the nutrients it needs for growth and development.
The 2018 National Demographic Health Survey, NDHS, revealed that 37% of children under 5 in Nigeria are stunted, too short for their age, while 7% are wasted, too thin for their height. Lagos, being one of the most populous states in Nigeria, mirrors these alarming trends. The National Nutrition and Health Survey, NNHS, indicates that nearly 32% of children under 5 in Lagos are stunted, further showcasing the prevalence of chronic malnutrition in the states. Data from the Nigerian Federal Ministry of Health shows that a significant percentage of pregnant women in Lagos suffer from anemia and other nutrient deficiencies, which often lead to adverse outcomes for both mothers and their children. Since its inception in 2015, the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, a nutrition-focused non-governmental organization, has been at the forefront of fighting hunger and solving the problems of malnutrition. With a focus on vulnerable populations, the organization launched the NUMEPLAN, Nutritious Meal Plan Intervention for vulnerable mothers and children to provide nutritious meals to pregnant women and children under 5 to ensure that they receive the vital nutrients needed for healthy development. So far, over 1,325 children have benefited from the program. Michael Sumbola, the executive director of the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, highlighted the importance of the NUMEPLAN program in addressing the nutrition gap in Nigeria. He explained.
NUMEPLAN program was originally designed to address the nutrition gap that we have in Nigeria, looking at the staggering statistics of the number of more than 2 million children who are malnourished. And these are not figures that are made up. They are, from verified sources from the United Nations, from UNICEF, and some of these figures are there. And there's a huge nutrition gap that we have, especially for children within their first 1,000 days. And data shows that more than 20% of them are not even getting any help at all. And what it means is that when these interventions are not timely, it affects the cognitive development of these children, and it causes irreversible damage to their developmental growth, and then makes them not productive as a young adult. Seeing this gap, we designed the NUMEPLAN program to provide these children with supply of food for maybe 2 months, 3 months And once we provide those constant supply of food, with the, of course, help of the nutritionists and volunteers, these children are able to, come back to life. And then we are able to save such child or children from the claws of malnutrition, which can have a more devastating effect on their cognitive development even later in future.
In addition to essential food supplies, NUMEPLAN provides nutritional counseling to mothers and caregivers as part of the efforts to address knowledge gaps on how to properly nourish their children. The nutritional counseling sessions are typically held bi-weekly at the Lagos Food Bank warehouse as part of the NUMEPLAN program, and they run for 3 months. Sumbola noted.
And then we now notice a knowledge gap as well, in the sense that a number of these caregivers also don't have as much nutritional knowledge on how to handle these children or these babies. And then our program also addresses that gap by giving them the required counseling and knowledge that they need, guidance in helping them stay within their meager resources and still provide nutritious meals for their children. So it's a maternal, mother and child program, but mostly children.
Notably, the NUMEPLAN, Nutritious Meal Plan Intervention for Vulnerable Mothers and Children, does not only provide malnourished children with essential food supplies, such as baby formulas and staple foods, but it also extends support to mothers by providing them with food to enhance their own health and ability to care for their children. In the words of Sumbola,
we also give the mothers what the mother will feed on to have enough nutrients to breastfeed and also to be able to take care of the malnourished child. If there are no underlying conditions, the longest any child can be on our program should not be more than 6-7 months.
Sumbola shared a success story about Jimo, a severely malnourished boy who lost his mother during childbirth and was cared for by his grandmother. Barely surviving on her meager income, Jimo's grandmother could not afford proper nutrition, and as a result, he became emaciated and stigmatized by his community. Sumbola recounted.
There's one story. This story inspires me a whole lot. I think his name is Jimo. During his birth, the mother passed on and the grandmother took on the responsibility. And then Jimo became very emaciated, very lean. And she felt like, okay, you know what, let me go to the nearest primary healthcare center. So she went there and then they told her about the Lagos Food Bank. On getting to Lagos Food Bank, she was well welcomed, admitted Jimo, took his picture, did everything. And while she was going, she was giving food. At the time she came in, a 1-year-old or 9 months or thereabout old baby was weighing about 4 kg or something. At the end of the program, he was already weighing about 9 or so. The baby became really better. Jimo that was looking very funny before, now looking very handsome, very nice.
Stressing the importance of collaboration in creating a sustainable impact on both maternal and child health, Sumbola disclosed that the Lagos Food Bank initiative leverages its partnership with the primary healthcare centers, from where healthcare professionals refer malnourished babies and other organizations to identify malnourished children and cater to their immediate needs. He explained.
We partner with the primary healthcare centers and they are able to identify malnourished children. And they immediately send their picture to us on WhatsApp and give the parents our address and they come down to us. We also partner with some companies that give us some of their products to give to these babies, and now we have a business relationship.
Motoraya Tijani, a 50-year-old divorcee and mother of 6, echoed the sentiments. Tijani's income from hawking pap barely covers the basics, let alone proper nutrition for her children. Her journey with the Lagos Food Bank began when a healthcare center referred her there after observing that her child looked smaller than her age. At 9 months old, Tijani's child was severely underweight, but today, at nearly 2.5 years old, she is thriving. Tijani stated proudly,
"It was through the health care center I heard about them. When I got to Lagos Food Bank, they welcomed me warmly and they started treatment for my child. So they gave him more food like milk, soybeans, wheat, semo with fish, potato, plantain, and beans. I always follow the instructions they give me. I thank God that my child also responded to all the treatment that was given to him. If you see my child now, you will see the evidence of the treatment.
Emphasizing the need for sustained efforts in combating malnutrition, Rilwan Oyedele, a public health nutritionist at the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, pointed out that it is important to provide pregnant women and children access to nutritious meals that contain key nutrients like vitamins A, B12, iron, folic acid, and zinc to maintain a healthy living.
Malnutrition on its own is an underlying cause of child mortality. So if we are to promote child survival, we have to take care of malnutrition, because some diseases like diarrhea and pneumonia that would rather not be very fatal to children that are well nourished can really affect the health of malnourished children. The severity of these diseases usually increase due to underlying cause, which is malnutrition. It is good for the pregnant women and even the children to have access to nutritious meal, because it helps them to live a healthy life. What we just need to get an adequate diet is to make sure we consume a variety of fruits and vegetables in the right quantity and we have the right quality. Though we have supplements around, but we encourage people to always get these nutrients from raw foods or foods that are minimally processed.
Emphasizing the impact of the NUMEPLAN on the beneficiaries, Oyedele noted.
The impact of NUMEPLAN is that this child now is able to live a good life. Cognitive function of this child is going to increase. The child will be able to focus in school, will be able to learn. The child is not going to fall ill often and often. Because the child is not falling ill, parents or mothers or caregivers don't usually spend most of their time taking care of sick children.
The key to the success of a program like NUMEPLAN, Nutritious Meal Plan Intervention for Vulnerable Mothers and Children, lies in meticulous planning, follow-up, and transparency. According to Similoluwa Olorunleke, a volunteer nutritionist at the Lagos Food Bank.
For the NUMEPLAN program, the children are provided with a lot of infants formula and infants meals. So these meals are only for children that are enrolled in the NUMEPLAN program. And there's also a sheet that is used to monitor and to ensure that what is written on the list is actually what the beneficiaries get every day. And there are also pictures online to see that the beneficiaries actually get it over a period of time.
Buttressing this, Oyeleke stated,
after we discharge them, we don't just leave them like that. We follow up, we call them so that they don't suffer relapse. Because if they should suffer relapse, it's just like we have wasted our efforts.
Despite its successes, the Lagos Food Bank Initiative faces challenges, including limited funding. Sumbola admitted that the NUMEPLAN program often relies on funds from its other programs, like the Temporary Food Assistance Program, to continue its work. He said,
there are quite a number of challenges, I would say, but funding is number one. There are times that we now have to use funding from other programs to now support NUMEPLAN. We are faced with a whole lot of problems. We want to solve more of this problem. Malnutrition is something that is of a high priority to any nation, to any community, to any mother, to any parent. But when you have limited resources, there's a little that you can do, especially since we don't have the support of the government.
Another challenge is the risk of relapse among recovering children. Common illnesses like diarrhea often cause children to lose weight again, requiring extended care and resources. Sumbola lamented.
Sometimes we make some progress on these babies and then they come out of that state and they're almost getting to the stage where they get discharged and then something happens. Maybe they fall sick and then they relapse again, then we start to suffer again.
Undoubtedly, there is a lack of adequate awareness about the prevalence of malnutrition in Lagos. Many people still assume that malnutrition is only present in the northern parts of the country due to how the area is largely populated. Sumbola noted,
there is actually a problem of malnutrition in Lagos. It is not as rosy as people think it is.
For Oyedele, the lack of economic access to food is a major challenge when it comes to combating malnutrition.
Even if you give them nutritional counseling, apart from the support we give them here, they still have to buy food outside. But when they don't have the money, what are they going to do?
The consequences of malnutrition are severe unless urgently addressed. According to Dr. Akinola, malnutrition can significantly impair the cognitive development of a child and results in poor academic performance.
The child will not perform well as expected when he started school. There may also be some neurological and some other cognitive problems. A malnourished child may be short for their age, thin or bloated. They may also have weakened immune system. Nutritional disorders can affect any system in the body, sense of sight, taste, and smell. It may result in anxiety, change in mood, and other psychiatric symptoms.
Therefore, in tackling the issue of malnutrition head-on, interventions like that of the Lagos Food Bank Initiative should be supported and replicated by other organizations. Sumbola advised.
I think more word needs to be put out there. Interventions like this should be replicated.
Speaking on the importance of consuming adequate nutrients to combat malnutrition, Oyedele emphasized.
This intervention normally should start when a woman is pregnant. Though it's not even when the woman is pregnant alone, but at least start when the woman is pregnant. Our everyday life, we should consume varieties of food.
Healthcare providers must collaborate with families to prevent and address malnutrition by educating parents and establishing regular checkups for children under 5. Dr. Akinola emphasized.
Healthcare provider will be able to work with parents and ensure that malnutrition is prevented in children by offering health education to the parents, and also one of the things that they do is growth monitoring. They should be able to fix a regular checkup for the child, especially those that are under 5, to ensure that growth monitoring are done for each visit to check the weight and the height of these children when they come for clinic visits, and plot this in appropriate age and sex-related charts.
Additionally, parents should endeavor to feed their children essential nutrients that the body needs to prevent malnutrition. The government's role in addressing malnutrition cannot be overemphasized. The current economic realities in the country have made it difficult for families to afford nutritious meals. Therefore, it has become imperative for the government at all levels to live up to its responsibilities by providing jobs and startup capital for the citizens to cater to their survival needs. While the Lagos Food Bank Initiative continues to make strides, more funding is needed to expand its reach and sustain its life-saving programs. Just as Oyedele emphasized,
the more people donate for us, the more we buy this food and give to people.
The NUMEPLAN program demonstrates the profound impacts that timely interventions can have in transforming the lives of vulnerable families. With sustained support, it can continue to serve as a lifeline for thousands more. This Solution Journalism Report was produced by Blessing Agbeetan for Women Radio 91.7 in partnership with Nigeria Health Watch through the Solutions Journalism Network.
All right, you just listened to the report by Blessing Agbeetan on Lagos Food Bank Initiative tackling malnutrition among pregnant women and children through a NUMEPLAN. Now, one would want to think that, oh, well, it's Lagos. Like I said, when you think of Lagos, malnutrition will not even come to mind at all. But hey, this is, what we are dealing with. All right, so joining me now on the program is Blessing Agbeetan, the reporter of this article. Good afternoon, Blessing. How are you today?
Hi, Rose. Good afternoon. I am well. How are you too?
I'm fine. I'm well. Compliment of the season to you.
Come to you. I just see like that chicken chat.
We'll deal with that later. But well done on this report. Well done, I must say. All right, so we'll go ahead and open up the phone line so that we get to hear from you on this report, and your thoughts too are definitely welcome. Now, the phone lines are open, 07000 917 917. You can also dial our toll-free number 0800 1235 917. Feel free to send me a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. Now, just before we get to hear from Blessing, we have our first call for today. Hello, good afternoon. All right, I think we lost that call. Do want to call me back on 07000 917 917. Our toll-free number for female callers is 0800 1235 917. All right, Blessing, let's get to hear from you. What inspired you to cover this story? Because when you think malnutrition, Lagos will not even come to your mind in the first place. And, what were you able to uncover while reporting on the issue of malnutrition in Lagos, especially with the stories we heard of Mary Dosa and Jimo?
Thank you very much, Rose, for that question. I think the first thing that came to my mind is the fact that there's hunger in the land at the moment, right? The economy is not smiling, and I'm wondering if people are lamenting this much, who are the people that are going to be affected? We have the pregnant women, we have children under 5, and these are people who do not even have access to great resources, food resources, nutrients, and we know the aftermath of not having access to good resources, food, and all of that. It tells on the health. Before you know it, you're going to have neonatal mortality. Before you know it, we're going to have maternal mortality, because a mother that cannot even eat well, how is a child in her belly going to have access to good food? And if the child in her belly doesn't have access to good food, we all know what is going to happen at the end of the day. So there are data to back this up, that there is hunger and there is malnutrition, just like you heard from the report. A lot of people will say, oh, Lagos, there's no hunger in Lagos because we are not so plenty. But when you go to the north, say, hey, that's where you see hunger. But that's not true. I mean, because of doing this report, I was at Lagos Food Bank. I saw these children, the people I spoke with, they brought their children. I saw the before and after. And I remember showing one of the pictures to Aisha, and then she screamed, she was like, take it away, take it away, take it away. That is to tell you how devastating it can be. When you see a child that is supposed to be walking and the child is not walking, when you see a child that is supposed to be talking and the child is not talking, because the child does not even have access to the right resources. And the sad part is that when people see such a children, they would cast the child aside. Nobody wants to help you with the child. In fact, some people will be saying, oh, maybe the child is a danger or something, not knowing that it is actually hunger. So all of these things were the things I thought about when I decided to say, okay, let me look into this. What are they doing? And also to, there's this one I'm looking for. Make it known that there is a need for us to have more organizations doing this when it comes to, giving children nutrients, particularly children and pregnant women. Providing nutrients to them. Organizations need to come together to support them. And that's one of the reasons, or those are the main reasons that made me embark on this report.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing. I can really, feel what you, in fact, going through this or hearing this report, I can just imagine what you had to see, during the course of this report. All right. Let's hear from our listener this afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, ma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What channel are you calling from?
My name is Mercy. I call from Ikotu.
Mercy.
I listen to the report where you give. The report good, well. On the things say, make I feed my children well, make they do chop well, make they not get this kind issue.
Honestly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Mercy for calling from Ikotu. We do appreciate your call, Mercy. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you. Oh, wish you the same. What channel were you calling from?
My name is
Stephen from Agbeetan. All right, Stephen, you're welcome. Let's hear you, please, on this report.
Yeah, so I would just like to say well done and kudos to WFM and also the journalist, Blessing Agbeetan, for the awareness of this report. Though I would have really loved if there was a doctor or a nutritionist around inside the studio to ask a couple of questions on the importance, how to correct malnutrition, some of these things, to properly get a comprehensive knowledge about malnutrition and how to go about to deal with it.
Okay.
In the next future, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. But we'll try to see what we can do about that. Okay. Thank you so much, Stephen, for calling.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you. You can do what to call. We have a few more minutes on the program. 07000 917 917. Our toll-free number for female callers is 0800 1235 917. All right, Blessing, quickly. The report highlights the critical work of the Lagos Bank Initiative, the NUMEPLAN program. Now, can you take us through their unique approach and the specific impact they are having on reducing malnutrition?
Okay, thank you very much, Rose, for that one. So, from my findings and then going to Lagos Food Bank Initiative myself to see for myself, one of the things that Lagos Food Bank Initiative does is a monthly meeting where they meet twice in a month, where these mothers come to the facility to get help and all of that. And also they go to the hospital. Probing further, I got to realize that these children or these people don't just approach Lagos Food Bank, so they work hand in hand with primary healthcare centers around. So with the primary healthcare center around, they are able to refer these children when they go to the hospital for counseling or diagnosis and all of that. So this family or these mothers, they are being referred to the Lagos Food Bank Initiative from there. So when they now get to the hospital refers them to Lagos Food Bank Initiative. The Lagos Food Bank Initiative has trained nutritionists, has trained health professionals that they work together hand in glove to, monitor their progress, give them food. I mean, another exciting thing about it is the fact they don't only give them food, they also give food to the parents, because they have this mentality that if you keep feeding the children and you're not feeding the parents, how will the parents be able to breastfeed the children well, properly? So it is what you take in that you give out. So they ensure that they also give food to the parents, whatever it is they are going to feed on. I also, during my research, I also found out that one of the things they also do is that they provide more like a menial job opportunity for parents.
Wow.
Because they believe that if they give you all of this food stuff now, and this food stuff is supposed to last you for like, let's say 3 months or so, after you're done eating in 3 months, right, you will want to come back. But there is a need for sustainability, because after you're done with the program, they need to bring in new set of people, because they cannot if they keep empowering only one set of people, how will the resources go around? It won't. So what they do is that they equip or they link the parents with a job around, so that at least when you have a job, you are able to buy some of the basic things that your child needs to survive and all of that. So they do that as well. And one other thing they do is that even if you're on the program and you maybe something happened, children, they will always eat, something can happen and then they might fall back. Maybe a child had gained weight and then in 2 weeks the child falls back. They tell you to bring the child back, and when you bring the child back, they start the program again for the child. But so far, one of the things that I've seen them do that is very, very exciting for me is going out of their way to ensure that they also find like a job, the nearby job for the parents, to ensure that they are able to sustain the meal they give to the children. I mean, when I was going through the meal, you will see some of the things. They work with some of these food companies. They have a lot of nutrients. They will tell you how to make your pap and then put all of the nutrients that you need to put in that pap to ensure that you're able to give your child, you're not just giving your child pap, because you're not giving your child a plain pap. You're blending it yourself. You're putting some other resources to make sure that your child has all of the vitamins that are very important in the body. So yes, Lagos Food Bank is doing a lot. And I really do hope that we have, like I said earlier, we have other organizations that can replicate this, so that we don't just have Lagos Food Bank. We have other organizations doing this, meeting needs, impacting lives, and what have you.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing. Let's see if we can pick 1 or 2 more calls. 07000 917 917. Our toll-free number is 0800 1235 917. feel free to send me a WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537. All right, Blessing. Now, just before we go, what do you hope listeners and stakeholders can take away from this report? And how do you think, they can, or rather, let's say how we can all contribute to combating malnutrition in Lagos and even, beyond Lagos State?
All right, thank you very much. I think I'm just going to go back to the thing that I've been saying earlier. We need more stakeholders to come together, put their resources together, and empower people. Don't just say, "Oh, there's Lagos State Bank doing it."
All right,
then
listen,
in our own corner,
let me just
just
hold our thoughts for a minute. Let's pick this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Aboyomi, calling from Osun State.
Aboyomi.
Aboyomi from Osun State.
All right, you're welcome. Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
My problem is that, I traveled for 8 months, but in my village, most of the places, there's no potable water for children to drink, and government is not doing anything about it. So what are we going to do about it?
Okay. All right, Aboyomi, that's a bit of what we're talking about, but I'm sure that we'll definitely get to pick this up in...
Because children drinking bad water will also resort to all this malnutrition.
Oh, okay. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I get the connection now. All right.
So what are we going to do about it?
Okay, thank you very much for your call, Aboyomi. So, I get the connection right now because if there's no good water, that could actually, add to the malnutrition that children and even pregnant women get to face in Osun State. So hopefully we get more initiatives like NUMEPLAN in different states too. And I'm sure that's part of what Blessing, has also mentioned earlier. So, Blessing, let's hear you quickly on what you think we can all do to contribute to, combating malnutrition.
Then, like I was saying earlier, thank you very much, Rose. Organizations need to pull their weight and do something, not just to wait for Lagos Food Bank Initiative. I'm also going to say that as individuals in our own corner, let us go out of our way to show love to somebody. We don't have to wait for the government. I understand that we're all going through a particular time and season at the moment, but it's important for us to come through for one another, come through for ourselves, because at the end of the day, we're all that we have got. And parents, I'm just going to say we should be very intentional about the things we give our children. Let's not say that it's pap I have, that's what my child was going to take, or because this person gives the child pap, then it means you can also give your child pap. The thing is, what works for child A might not necessarily work for child B. And when you realize that your child is looking somehow, your child is not growing as your child should grow. Maybe a 3-month-old child is weighing like 2 kg, 1 kg. You need to go to the hospital to go see a doctor. Don't just say, hey, Ebabi will help me check up. Like you're giving your neighbor, help me check this child. Go to the hospital. Don't do it on your own. Malnutrition has killed children. Malnutrition has made some children paralyzed. So you need to take a bold step. When you see that your child is not growing as your child should grow, please go to the hospital. Don't consult your neighbor. Don't consult your grandmother. Go to the hospital. Thank you very much, Rose.
All right, thank you too, Blessing. Well done for this report. This is definitely a critical report at this time. So well done, I would say, and thank you very much for coming on to talk to us about this report today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, have a great day and enjoy the rest of the good season.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Right.
Thank you.
So there you have it from the reporter of this reports that we just heard today. Now the stories of Mary Dosa, Jimo and many others highlights the resilience of families battling malnutrition and the critical role of initiatives like NUMEPLAN. The Lagos Food Bank Initiative exemplifies how community-driven solutions can create lasting change, offering a lifeline of the most vulnerable. Now, a very big thank you to our guest, Blessing Agbeetan, for an enlightening discussion, and to the Lagos Food Bank Initiative for their relentless effort in combating malnutrition. Now, this report was produced by Women Radio 91.7 in partnership with Nigeria Health Watch through the Solutions Journalism Network. You can read the full report on our website, www.wfm917.com, under the headline, Lagos Food Bank Initiative, Tackling Malnutrition Among Pregnant Women and Children through NUMEPLAN. Now, thank you to all of you who called in and those who tuned in to listen to today's program. Special thanks to the executive producer, Tonwo Kewale Shonaya. Well, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do well to enjoy the rest of the holidays and, of course, Happy New Year in advance. Good afternoon, coming to you from Women Radio.
WFM 91.7.